Okay, so in this video we're going to have a look at the settings for the masthead area and how we can set it to overlay or fade in colors and other kind of special effects with the newer templates. By default the masthead will sit above content, but we can change the settings by going into the design area template section, and there is a setting in the template where we can choose what happens with this specific section. So we will go to Design, Template Editor, and edit Template A. At the moment only Template A is being used, so that's the only one we have to look at. We can edit the template. So in this template area is all the kind of settings for all the content blocks that get loaded in, and at the top we have our header section where you can see we've got space for the logo, the menu, and the top toys. And as you can see, if I hover over this snippet, there is a header settings pop-up, and this will allow us to change the settings and how this area is displayed. So the main settings that pop up immediately are what you can do with the header section, and you can start off by making it sticky, which means when you scroll down the page, the heading will stay put. So if we set that, save our changes, have a look at our web page, nothing's changed in terms of positioning, but we can scroll and the heading will stay put. But as you can see, it's not very readable at the moment. If we look at the news page, it's doing the same thing. So if we go back to our settings here, we can then also use an option to overlay the header. And what that means is it will sit on top of the content. And there are two options here. One is to overlay the header only on the home page, because generally speaking your home page is your most complex page and where you might have full-sized graphics, whereas the other pages will have headings and kind of more templated formatting. There is the option to also overlay the header on all pages, but in this case we don't have a template that really works for that, so we will just look at overlaying it on the home page where our image is. So let's have a look and see what happens if we enable that option. And there you go, you can see that's basically it's working as if it had been stickied, and we'd scroll down the page a bit. It's overlaid but not very readable at the moment. So one thing we can do is look at our background and text options. The first one that immediately might be useful is a light text override. So we'll just enable that for the moment and see what we get. So now it's made the text light. If we click news, our text isn't readable. And that's where, if we go back to our settings, there's the option to only override on the home page. So we can enable that. And these little sections here, they have little tooltips things. So if you're not sure what something does, you can quickly just hover over it and have a look. So if we save that, our text is now back to our normal menu color there. If we go back here, it is now white. So we've still got the option, still got the issue where we don't have a color in the background to fit over the top of it. Back to our settings. So we can look at putting a background color behind our menu and logo items, and we can do that by using the section background color. So we can basically choose a color here. We might set an opacity. We'll save that. And that's given us a transparent background there. And if we have a look at our normal pages, they also have the same effect. It doesn't fade in like this, so if you use the section background color, it will always be present. So we'll remove that. And you can see at the bottom it says that background colors set here will override fade in settings. So if you want to have a fade in setting where the menu color fades in, you don't use the section background colors. You choose the background fade in options here. And it says use colors banner color area to customize this. So we will choose to background fade in only on the home page. So we need to jump out and we need to go to Design, to our color palette, and we'll give the banner a color and see what we get now. So as you can see, the color fades in as we scroll down the page. And as you saw on the previous page, as we've only set the background to fade in on the home page, on the subsequent pages it will be there all the time. If we have a look now at a drop down, we can see we've got a white drop down by default. We can change that as well if we need to. This is set via the menu background area. If the template has a dedicated menu block, then it may affect the color there, but in this case, because we have a masthead that can have transparency, it will only affect the drop downs, like so. The other settings that we have available are to have the menu color fade in. So if we enable this for the home page, let's see what happens. So if we scroll down the page, it's changed the color to our default menu text from the white. We also have some mobile settings in the header area, so I'm just going to quickly inspect and drag the window to see what the default mobile looks like. So we have a logo on the left and our search bar, which is our top toys section, in the center there. If we go to our header settings and go to mobile positioning, you can see that this is reflected in the settings. Our left area, our logo area, is being told to position left. Our center area is being told to hide. And our top toys on the right is being told to drop to the second row. So we could, for example, choose not to have the search on mobile. With the logo, perhaps we want that center. Let's see how that's changed our positioning. So there we go, we've got our logo in the middle, moved or hidden the search bar. Hopefully that gives you an idea of some of the things that you can do with the header settings.